Hey, it's Heather, and welcome to Adventures in Gardening. So once again, we are reminded that winter is not over until it is over, okay? But our weather has totally rebounded from the snow that we had yesterday. There's still some out there, but the extended forecast looks like it's just perfect for what I want to do today. So today I want to give you a complete seedling tour of the things that I've got growing inside and the things that I've got going outside. And then the other thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking some of the initial, the first batch of seedlings that we planted back in January, and we're going to be bumping them up. And I'm going to show you how I save myself a little time and a little soil, okay? Because I'm not going to bump them up into huge pots, but I need to give them room and I need to give them nutrients so that they are ready to go outside when it's time. So what I've done here, this is my indoor grow light setup here that I use for long-term guests in the house, like eggplants and peppers and tomatoes, but I also use it when I'm in a hurry, because lights, they grow this perfect little seedling, okay? If you want perfect little lettuce or kale or whatever, starting them into grow lights, it's really amazing. So I have already slid some of the trays out because that's what I have to do. I have to slide them out the end here. And so I'm going to turn you around so we can take a look at these, and then we're going to go outside. So you can see what I mean right here. I mean, I've got perfect little basils right here. This is Genovese basil, and they just look fantastic. Now, it came from out of here. See how close the lights are to the shelf there. You got to keep the lights close and raise them up as your plants get a little taller. I'll show you the peppers because I've had to raise the lights already. But the Genovese basil looks really good. I've got two different colors of wave petunias that look fantastic. And you know, these guys, I'm going to be bumping them up soon and they're going to need fertilizer. I might actually use some seaweed or some kelp. I water all the seedlings through the bottom. You can see the roots that are coming out the bottom here. And I'll keep watering from the bottom. So I just fill the water up right in there. But I will put a little bit of fertilizer in here for these guys. And these are Edern eggplant right here that are looking good. And this is lettuce leaf basil. And these are dichondra. So the germination is a little spotty, a little bit of a learning curve there. And same thing with the sensitive fern right there. My grandfather used to grow that, and I'm trying to grow it for all the kids. These are 2 packs of English thyme that I'm going to be giving a little bit of a haircut to, keep them short and full. And those right here, these are snapdragons. They're looking good. And this is that silver shield plectranthus. That looks really great too. So every week I have a schedule that I follow for what I'm starting, and this tray right here, I've got some more basils and some teucrium and then some parsley down here that's very, very spotty in the germination. So I won't pull that tray out. The peppers are over here. And I run the heat mat for them because I want them to think it's summer. I want them to grow good. You have to be super careful when you do stuff like that. When you're using the heat mat, and because these lights actually throw off some heat as well. You want to make sure that you keep them well watered. And I do pour the water in the bottom here on all the peppers. Peppers are looking really great. These are Lesa peppers, Cubanelle, Mira peppers, violet sparkle peppers, Poblano. King of the North is over here, and I will show you. They also have a great root system, and these are 2 weeks old. And if you want to know how I get such even and quick germination, they were 9 days in, and they germinated very evenly and very quickly. And you can go back and watch my video growing 10 different types of peppers for all the details. These are Craig's Grande jalapeno. Now I had a little mishap with the Craig's Grande and I lost a few of them because I wasn't paying attention to the water. So I'm going to actually have to replant some of these because I need enough for myself and enough for all the people that I grow plants for. This is that new black Hungarian, and it was so pretty. I mean, it's getting its first set of true leaves on it, but the seedling, it has these really nice purple stems, and the seed leaves were purple. This is pepperoncini. This is actually not a pepper at all. It is irisine, and you can see that there are actually seedlings coming up in the rest of these here. I'm using that as an accent plant this year. And what is that? Early jalapeno, that's that container jalapeno I'm trying out this year. And this is Little Prince eggplant. That's also a container eggplant. So those are my indoor seedlings, and obviously the peppers are going to be staying in here for quite a while, but things like the thyme and the petunias, I'm actually going to start bringing those out very soon. So let's head on outside and I'll show you the plants that we have growing out there. All right, so these are the seedlings that are in the greenhouse right now, along with Piper. Hi, Pipey. She hangs out with me most of the time. She's a 15-year-old outdoor cat. Outdoor/indoor. Yep, she comes in at night. All right, so the first tray that we planted was this one right here, and we planted it on January the 18th, I think, except for maybe a couple down on the end there, which were planted on the 24th. So this is pak choi, mizuna, some Russian kale, and broccoli rabe. And then we've got some red mustards and some Chinese broccoli and the bok choy, and that is Marvel of Four Season lettuce right there. And then these are the onions that we started on February the 1st, and they're looking great. And then these were started a little bit later. Okay, no, this was February 1st. This is stock, some Chinese cabbage. There still are no pansies. I'll just buy the pansies like I do every year. And this is a sanguine lettuce, and this is escarole back here. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be potting these guys up into some nice, not all of them, I'll show you the ones that we're going to be doing, but we're going to start with the pak choi right here. All right, before we get started, I just want to say, now I'm only speaking for me in my part of the country here in Connecticut Zone 6. So I would love to hear from wherever you live if things are different for you, okay? But here where I live, there is a disconnect between cold crops and the time that you plant them in the ground and the time when they are available for sale, okay? They don't match up. It is not a recipe for success when they're finally available for us here, and I get why, all right? Because nobody's really thinking like that. All right, most people are thinking like Memorial Day, that's when they want to do their planting. And you know, a lot of these, like the pak choi and the broccoli rabe and the mizuna, if you plant them on Memorial Day here, where I am, we have days that are like, you know, it's like heat wave. We can have a heat wave we've had heat waves on Memorial Weekend. What am I saying? No, we can have a heat wave at any moment now. But no, for real. And so, you know, and there are other factors that will make your cold crops bolt. It's not just the temperature fluctuation, but that is a big thing. Okay, so if you want to grow your I totally got off my train of thought. And so what happens is, you know, people come out in droves on Memorial Weekend, and that's their planting time, and they're picking up, you know, their broccoli and their cauliflower and, you know, their mustards the same time that they're picking up their tomatoes and peppers. And if you want to be successful in growing cold crops, which are so easy, it's when your pest pressure is extremely low, okay? And they like the cooler weather. So, and if the ground, and yes, the ground does have to be workable, but you know, we're looking at these being out maybe the first week of April, maybe even sooner. I think last year it was sooner for like the cabbages and whatnot. So if you want to be successful at growing cold crops, you have got to get them started. Unless you can find them in your for sale where you live, and again, let me hear about that. But here, not too much. So today I'm going to be potting up selectively, and I'll show you my reasoning as we go along on some of these, but I'm going to be taking them out of their cramped little cell packs into larger cell packs. Okay, these are 4 packs that are going to hold a little bit more soil than what they're in. It'll give each of them their own space, as opposed to, hang on, let me put these down. So normally what I pot up in is a 4-inch pot, but there's really no reason for me to waste this much soil when this is going to be sufficient. Okay, they're going to be really happy, and I will give you updates via shorts. So subscribe if you're not already subscribed, so that you can see how they're going to do very well in here. And it's just the right amount of time that I need them just to have a little more room and a little more fertilizer. So let's get started. So looking ahead, our daytime temperatures are in the high 30s into the 40s, and our nighttime temperatures are in the 20s. And as far as cold crops goes, that is perfectly fine for where these are growing right now. I will be able to keep I'll be able to keep it above freezing in here with no heat. I do not use any heat. But I will be using a frost blanket over top of them. Every night I will be coming in. So up to this point, if you go back a couple videos, you'll see that I've been using, when the temperatures were in the low 20s, and the days were shorter at that time, I was using 2 layers of plastic and the frost blanket. So I think we're at a good point right here. So these are the pak choi, and take them out. All right, so there we have it. Now I probably should have done this about a week ago, to be honest with you, but the weather just didn't look right for doing it quite yet. There were a couple nights that I brought them inside. So I'm teasing them apart very, very, very gently, okay? And some of these smaller ones I probably won't pot up. And I won't be planting them together, okay? Everybody needs their own space, because I need these guys to be nice, big, healthy plants. So my whole little spiel about a disconnect, you know, between cold crops being for sale and planting time, I think I neglected to say, now's the time. You have plenty of time. Where you're right on time. Okay, this week is when I will plant more things. Like I will do all of my cabbages this week. So you are right on time. And so if I didn't have the protection of the greenhouse here, what I've done in the past is I would just put my seedlings outside against the, you know, the sunny side of the house from the get-go, and then bring them in at night. That's what I used to do. And if you are wondering, you know, how can you get extra packs, man, all you got to do is, if you have like a town Facebook group, just post that you're looking for these types of things. People will actually hang on to them, hoping that somebody will use them. So people are always willing to give these away. Now when I sowed all of these, I fully knew that I was going to transplant them. So that's why I did them, you know, multiples in one little cell. Now that is something, if I left these guys just like this, that is something that would also cause them to bolt if I didn't transplant them in time. All right, so next we're going to do broccoli rabe, and I have to tell you that there's this little voice inside my head that says you missed your opportunity for transplanting. I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. And I mean, if this were April and I was up to my elbows and stuff, I would be like, nope, forget it. I'm not even going to try it, but I do want to try it. So okay, now I'm going to do this bok choy, and I mean there's only a couple that are on the larger side here, but I really want to make sure that I take all of these to maturity because A, they're new, B, they're pretty, and C, I am sure they are delicious. So every single one of these, the pak choy and the bok choy, this is one meal, okay, for the two of us. So that's a lot of food, and this is a lot of early food too. All right, next I have just a few of this Mizuna that I'm going to pot up. So that's actually all I'm going to transplant today. I was on the fence about the this Russian kale, but you know, it's got one, some of them have two sets of true leaves, but I think there's plenty of space here for now, so I'm going to wait a few days for those. And in the escarole there's a few little latecomers in there, so I'm just going to leave that be for now. And I'm going to, let me grab some fertilizer. Yeah, I'm just going to add a little bit of this seaweed plant food to my water, and I'm just eyeing it, about a tablespoon, give or take. And I'm going to give all of the new transplants a drink. So that is it for today, my friends. Thanks for spending time with me today. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next adventure in gardening. See you soon.